What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the GameSpot Cross Kinda Funny live show on GameSpot.com/E3. I'm Greg Miller. This is the Pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty, and these guys are Naughty Dog. Bruce Straley, Neil Drukmann, the name amongst names, making video games. Congratulations on the Uncharted 4 reception. Everyone loved your demo. You did a great job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We're happy that people are liking it.
Yeah.
And we're happy that it worked and Bruce was able to play it.
I'm happy I'm still alive.
So, yeah, tell me let's run through this. Of course, at the Sony press conference, a technical mishap happens.
Yeah.
What exactly went wrong? Nate just froze in his steps.
Video games, man, it's technology. You can't trust it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I'm heading out on stage. There's Bill with the chair. I'm going to sit on a chair and play, make myself comfortable.
Sure, of course.
And the lady who's operating the curtain, the stage assistant, watch out for Bill, the chair guy. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm walking out, and I look out on the stage where the controller's supposed to be. It's not there. And I hear Bill, the chair guy, say, excuse me. I'm like, wait, controller's not there. Where's the controller? Excuse me. Controller's not there. Where's the controller? And I dig down in the well, and I say, excuse me, I got to put the chair down. And I'm like, okay, get out of Bill's way. He sets the chair down. I dig into the well. There's cables and all sorts of stuff down, just shenanigans.
Yeah.
I find a controller. I'm like, okay, I hope this is the one. I pull it up, and I start the demo. Everything's working great. This demo starts. I'm like, cool, I'm going to settle in my chair. Thanks, Bill. So I'm sitting back. So then when it's time to actually move Nathan Drake through the marketplace, I hit the analog stick. Nathan Drake doesn't move. I'm like, what happened? Nathan, move. I'm like, Nathan's not moving. Why aren't you moving it? Now I'm like, camera. The camera's not moving. What's happening? There's a backup monitor over here, and I'm thinking, there's a joystick. I'll pick up that joystick. Now I'm not thinking straight. Time has like gone into some other dimension.
Before all this, they're asking us, okay, what should we do if there's a crash or something? We're like, it's not going to crash. It's perfect.
I was like, I'll just walk off. So you'll know if it's going to crash.
We don't even need a backup plan. It's going to work fine.
So now I have two controllers in my hand. I'm just jiggling every stick and hitting every button. Nothing's happening. I'm like, oh my God, this is not good. The thought races through my brain. It says, just walk off. You can just walk off. I was like, ignore that thought. Then I hit the PS button on both of the machines, and I get the OS over on the backup. So I'm like, okay, well, there's something. Surprisingly, the primary did not respond at all. Nothing happened.
So the controller somehow died. Just the controller died.
Who knows? Magic, like some wizardry. Somebody like put some interference on me, a zap on me, some voodoo. I pick up the other one. I'm like, please, God, please. And I start the demo. I'm pointing at this one. Apparently, the guys in the booth are watching both the monitors and they're like, Bruce has the backup. He's getting feed off the backup. He's picking up the second controller. Second controller is a check. We're gonna run with the second one.
It's like NASA.
Total NASA. Like we got 3 drops of gas left. We gotta get this moon shot perfect. It's like we're down to one drop. Like everything's calm and cool. I'm up there freaking out. Pick up the other one, and it's time to move. And I put the joystick forward and the analog stick, and he moves. And I'm just like, everything from that point on is just cake. Yeah, like there is no stress at all. It's just like, yeah, we're going to run through a demo, guys. It's cool.
It was awesome to hear the crowd's reaction when they just took a step forward.
Right. Well, you've had at PSX the same thing happen, right? When you fell through the world and the crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
Because like, that's what I think the PlayStation audience wants, right? They want legit demos, and they understand that it's a live show.
Them. And a heart attack. It's going to sell so many games. It's like death of game director, Uncharted 4 sales
It
rocket.
would be so much easier just to make a video, but we go to such lengths to make it a live demo, and stuff like this can happen.
Why is it important to do the live demo?
I think it's just to show it's a real game. You know, you're seeing the game up there, like, and horrible things can happen, and that's part of like the fun of giving Bruce a heart attack.
It's also kind of legitimately. The PSX demo and this one really made us focus in on core mechanics, what our mechanics are, pare away all the superfluous ideas that we've been like kicking around, a lot of theory craft about like how we're going to make this game, and it's just like, what is this thing?
Sure.
So like rip it apart and come down to like, okay, we're going to make a level, we're going to make it work, we're going to make our AI work, we're going to get into stealth. How are we doing stealth this time? We're exploring all of those things, and it's forcing us to make decisions. And so we're coming out of these 2 demos with so much more tech and so much understanding and tools, and now we have an idea. Anybody on the team and anybody out there can look at these 2 demos and go like, I know what Uncharted 4 is like, where it's heading. This is going to be awesome. It's the heart of Uncharted we're showing you here. This is the core mechanics.
And it forces us to make decisions. So when you look at that Jeep and that drive, like that's us driving it. That's Bruce having a heart attack.
It's not on rails.
And it's all physics driven. We're like, at first we're like,
What are we
this
doing?
demo could go wrong in so many
What are we
ways.
doing?
Because
Physics is the worst idea.
Yeah, physics is so unpredictable, and it just
It's
forced
physics.
us. Yeah.
Science.
Again,
right
it
there.
forced us to really lock down the gameplay and make the hard choices going forward.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how do you guys shoot? You guys are like the Greg and Colin of Naughty Dog, and I mean that as a compliment, not
True.
the insult that it
Yeah.
probably comes off as. How do you guys decide who's going to play? Because it's always really you that ends up going up and playing. So, like, do you guys have the, with The Last of Us and now with Uncharted both times? How do you? Are you kind of the go-to for the gameplay demos, or do you want to get kind of step up there and do it?
No, Bruce is the go-to. I'm too much of a pussy. If that happened to me, I would have fainted or ran out off the stage.
You're just crying.
I don't know. I don't know how it comes about. I think it's just like I like going up and presenting what the team's been working on, and I feel very proud to do it, and I feel very capable of I kind of want to show off, so to speak, for the team, and and I feel capable in myself. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I think I'm done. I think that might be it for me, but I think that I've had this one. I wanted to go up there and have redemption for the PSX demo. Quite honestly, I was just like, redemption is mine. And then I get up there, I'm like, are you kidding me?
You can't be done until you have a flawless one. You gotta do one more.
Well,
done.
that was The Last of Us, right? When you got up
The
there,
Last of Us is, yeah.
that was the iconic. You're lit. You look like it's like the start of some heavy metal music video.
Dude, people call that out as like Bruce's stance. Like, what's Bruce gonna do this time? I'm trying to be comfortable. First of all, it's the worst play experience that you've ever been. You don't who plays a video game standing up? Nobody. It's just like, unless you're like using just a wand or something like that, right? The monitor is about this big. It's down below your feet. And all I was trying to do is spread my feet so I could get lower to the monitor to see what's going on, man. I'm old. These eyes don't work like they used to.
But instead, I mean, you look like the most badass game developer anyone had
It
ever
worked out
seen.
for my favor, yeah.
You had this gear. You looked cut. You looked huge. I would never mess with you in a million years.
Indeed.
That was pure naivety. That demo was just like me just going up like, yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Now, how's it been? You guys obviously have a lot of experience with Uncharted, but the previous game you did was The Last of Us, and with that, it was a new IP. No real expectations apart from the fact that you guys released great games, but no one knew what to expect with that, and you exceeded, I think, wildly everyone's expectations. One of the great games of all time, I think. Is there a lot of pressure? We were talking about this before we went on. Is there some sort of pressure going back to Uncharted, which is something that's established, and there are expectations with this particular franchise?
There's always a ton of pressure, and I wish we could say, oh no, you don't care, you're just doing the games you want to make, and there is a part of that. We are making the games we want to make, but we were talking about it the other day. The pressure comes from we want to make the team proud. More than anything, I could care less what reviewers say or what people outside Naughty Dog, but I want the people working on this game to be proud of what we make and to know that we're leading them somewhere spectacular. And then for us, it was just really kind of taking a step back from The Last of Us, because Uncharted has its own tone, its own feel, looking at the 3 previous titles to really kind of get back into that world. And it was a process for us to get back into that world, into that tone.
Was that hard? I mean, you figure Last of Us is so dark and so it leaves a fingerprint on your soul. I feel like you lose part of yourself to it, and now to come back to Drake and El Goddamn Dorado and everything, you know what I mean? It's that pulp adventure, right? Was that hard to change your mindset?
No, I guess because you're working on a game for Last of Us was 3.5 years that we're just kind of in that world, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air to step away from that and to go back to the epic, to go back to the big spectacle,
button. To go back to a jump button,
to go back to a jump button, to crank it up to 11, and then see the stuff we learned from The Last of Us of how we can rely on allies both in story and in gameplay and bring that to Uncharted. And those are all things we learned from Uncharted that we brought to The Last of Us, and it's just an evolution of how we make games.
I will say, in the theater room yesterday, playing the extended demo, which is ridiculous. I don't know if you guys seen
we sent Cisco to see it. Cisco liked it a lot.
Come on up.
I'm coming today.
Yeah. There's a difference in the way the attitude in the room, even with us, when we're talking about this game, seems to be like, yeah, this is awesome. Versus The Last of Us, we're 100% in this thing. We know what we're after. We have this thing, but we're also really full of questions. Yeah, we have E3. We have this demo back for the first TLU E3 3 years ago, whatever. Yeah. And it was it's heavy. And we're talking in that kind of these are the kind of things that we're trying to do philosophically.
Yeah, instead of sitting back, we'd be sitting forward and kind of
we're just everything's you even look at pictures, you're just and this is what we're trying. But we're also full of questions of how are we going to pull this thing off? Is this going to work? We have an idea, but And this one, it's we know, and when you're watching this demo and you're playing this demo, you're just woohoo, yeah, and then you get to talk about it, and you're just like, Uncharted is awesome. Like, it's kind of that. And it's still like the character and the heart and the depth and everything we're doing. We've expanded the core mechanics. We have so much richness in our toolkit, and that's a lot of work. It seems like we don't innovate because it's like AAA, blah, 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 but there's a lot of thought and a lot of discussion and a lot of work.
For the record, I don't know if anybody's ever looked at it and said you don't innovate.
It's a perception thing,
Okay.
but it's for me, at any rate, it's all good. To me, it's like I'm happy with where we're at, and I'm really excited to talk about this game, and it's fun to play this demo and be back in the heart of Uncharted and be like, right, we're allowed to crank it to 11. We're allowed to just have a romp, an adventure, and be Nathan Drake again. It's awesome. It's fun.
Is there a level of excitement with PlayStation 4 specifically that you have like really a whole new audience? Obviously, PlayStation 3 gamers have jumped to PS4, but PS4 seems to have a really broad appeal. And a lot of people have never played Uncharted before, and so they're going to get the Uncharted Collection this fall, and then they'll play Uncharted 4 next year. Is there an excitement that now you're going to reach not only the PlayStation nerds like us, but now a whole new group of people to kind of, you know, bring them into the Naughty Dog, like what you guys do at Naughty Dog and what you guys do with Uncharted? Has that crossed your minds at all, that PS4 is out there in a lot of people's hands?
I don't know if I think too much about that.
I don't think about it. We're just trying to make an awesome game. Yeah.
I will say our approach for Uncharted 4 has been like, let's make a story that could stand on its own. It's got its own arc, but at the same time, it's a payoff for all the 3 games that came before it. And it has to work on those 2 levels. So on that way, people that haven't played the previous 3 games are going to get an experience. But if you have played those games and you've seen that relationship with Nate and Lena and Sully evolve over those games, you're getting that payoff with Uncharted 4.
So I'm glad you're talking about the story now. I'm glad you mentioned Elena Fisher, of course. Best character in video games. My question is, I keep seeing these headlines pop up on the news sites and your Destructoids and your whatnots saying Neil Druckmann says we're sending Nate out with a bang, or this is the final. What's this? Are you really getting rid of Nate here? Is this the end of the Nathan Drake story? Why would you end Nate's story? Don't end Nate's story. Let him get married and be happy. That's what I want to know. Then start the Elena story. But don't kill Nate. Don't let Nate go away. Don't stop doing. I'm sorry.
It's going to start some online petition.
Hashtag saving Nate.
I don't know. Just from what we discussed, from what the story where we felt we had to go and his arc and where we could take it, it felt like there was one last place we could go. And this is the final chapter in Nathan Drake's story.
That's awesome. It's so bittersweet in a way because we love Nate. But what I've always talked about when I talk about Naughty Dog's legacy is the fact that the company seems to leave things and start new things. You know what I mean? Like, you can still make Jak and Daxter and all this different stuff right now, but it would be like, after you see what you can do with Last of Us, what you can see with Uncharted, would we want Naughty Dog to still be making
that's what we keep saying, yeah. You could, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, so I'm curious, you know, the Uncharted collection itself.
Is crushing unlocked from the beginning? Can I get all the trophies? Can I get the platinum in each one of these games?
Sure.
Oh,
Yes.
Confirmed, ladies and
If
gentlemen.
Greg wants it.
Thank you. Done. Knock it. Checkbox. I'm done.
What I was going to ask about the Uncharted collection was that Blue Point's doing the port, very capable, you know, studio. But you guys internally did the Last of Us port to PS4 to kind of learn the architecture.
Yeah.
Was there any thought to do the Uncharted collection yourself? Not necessarily your team, but internally? Or was it an obvious thing? These are 3 games. We really don't have the time to deal with this. And, you know, Sony can kind of
It was real obvious. We can't do that.
Yeah.
We need to focus on just doing this Uncharted 4. Yeah, there's no way.
I mean, even with The Last of Us, there was a debate whether we should. And a big part of the decision, like you mentioned, was let's get to know the architecture.
Yeah,
we already have a benchmark. Like, here's the goal of what we have to hit.
It was huge.
And then we
to
can
do
go
that.
from there.
Yeah, it was great to do remastered, TLU remastered. It really gave us a leg up on getting Uncharted. That first PSX demo, I mean, I don't think that we would have hit that had we not had the tech and the tools and everything that were created in the remastered.
Are you guys playing, like, now that you've, you know, I know how hard your team works, and Naughty Dog's arguably the hardest working studio, and I've been there. You guys have been kind enough to let me spend some time there, and I got to see kind of the way you guys work and think, and you guys crunch and you work really hard. And as you know, as you guys were talking about, making vertical slices is very difficult, and you kind of have to put the team onto this one thing to make everything polished and perfect. Are you guys going to kind of go dark after this, or is there, in terms of, you know, showing another...
In our souls?
In
Like
your
dark
soul?
in our souls?
No, well, that was the last one, so now you guys are back out and happy again. But in terms of, you know, taking the team off to make another vertical slice to show it, you know, in Paris or something like that, or is the mentality now, like, let's you know, button down and get this game.
Make the game.
Yeah, make the game now.
We haven't talked too much about it, but for me, it's about get the game done.
Yeah.
I think we got everything as far as gameplay that we need. I think we got a course, and we have everything's mapped out. We got a lot of the game done and a lot of game left to do, and let's just get it done. Yeah. But
I
I'm
mean,
happy. I'm happy with where we're at right now.
There's a big part with multiplayer that we haven't revealed yet, and that has to come at some point.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm with Bruce. We need to just finish this game and get it out there.
Okay, I'll allow it. So here's the question: you were saying that these haters out there want to say you're not innovating, you're not doing different stuff. For you, what are the biggest gameplay changes? Because at the PSX demo, that was the one where Colin and I sat down and watched it again and did the rewind theater. I'm like, they're going back into patrol modes and they're not just chasing Nate the entire time.
And the Yelp.
Yeah, have you heard this story?
What's this? No.
We're at the PlayStation. We're here at PlayStation Experience. We're watching on the big screen, and every 5 minutes, Colin's going, "Are you fucking seeing this? Are you fucking seeing this?" As you guys are playing, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching it. Stop elbowing me. It looks amazing." Yeah, but the fact that there's now the grappling hook. There's now the ability that it looks like enemies will go back to patrol if they can't find you. There's hiding. There's stealth. Are those the biggest changes, and that's why you used them? Or are there other stuff under the hood we don't know about in terms of what's different about Uncharted 4 on a gameplay-wise?
And we have some more stuff that we haven't seen. I mean, you haven't even seen the problem solving, and the rope is so dynamic. I mean, here you're seeing it more, and if you see the extended, if you see it, I guess, at the end of the stage demo.
Going through.
It's so versatile, and it could be used in traversal, it could be used in problem solving, it could be used in puzzling, it could be used inside of an action set piece like we're doing. So, everything's wrapped, kind of core mechanics are enveloped in this whole thing, and a set piece now is everything's on the stick. We have more mechanics to show, for sure. Whether we show them, maybe, who knows how we're going to reveal it.
Right.
If not, just wait for the game. But
go dark.
We're going to go super dark.
Super dark.
Blackout, man.
I think surprises are so important, especially for hardcore gamers that are following every bit of news that's coming out. When you played Uncharted 3, it was a spoiler if you haven't played Collection, but there was, there's a sequence there that we purposely didn't reveal. For The Last of Us, we didn't reveal that you play Ellie, and we want those moments that people are going to walk away from Uncharted 4 and be like, that was awesome. I did not expect that at all. So. Yeah,
I you gave the spoiler and didn't spoil Uncharted 3, but Last of Us,
everyone played Last of Us.
You had your chance.
It's already on PS4.
I'm curious, since you guys are so well respected in this industry, you guys are great visionaries and great minds of gaming. What are you seeing at the show that's impressing you? Are there any other games that you guys have?
Let me jump back to that last one real quick, because I was just thinking about it. One of the difficult things that we struggle with that I think every game tries to get right is if you're going to create a rich story and characters that you can actually believe in and a world that they can exist in, then you have certain constraints placed on game design, but you're still trying to make an interactive experience that has all the depth that allows the player to feel invested. Meaning the challenges that we put in front of you in layouts and designs and enemy design and classes of enemies and the turret truck, etc. You have to be so familiarized with your core mechanics and adroit, dexterous on the stick, and so familiarized with that language of interaction with that world that we're creating, that you need to feel empowered as a player. And to take those two things together of how do we create a really rich interactive experience that empowers and gives you a sense of choice, but also an understanding of where your choices lie, and at the same time fulfill the character requirements, the pacing. Is it an explore beat? Is it a high tension beat? Am I under a lot of pressure? Am I in a downbeat in the character that we're trying to feel sadness? How do we elicit those kinds of emotions with this toolkit of layout, enemy design, core mechanics, ropes, problem solving, our core tropes of what we're playing with is in this thing. So to take those two things and constantly bounce back and forth between, does the story need to change to help out the gameplay? Does the gameplay need to change to help out the story? And how to look at those two things and make the sacrifice, the hard sacrifices, because we want to do whatever. We want to make jetpacks, we want to make laser beams, we want to make those ideas are simple. But to actually go what's going to create the most rich experience and keep the pacing so it keeps that action cinematic feel that Uncharted is known for. So being innovative and trying to create this set of new mechanics, the piton you saw in the PSX demo. Did you see the piton? No, they don't have it. Yeah, it was
you pull it out of the wall and then you climb.
Oh,
up.
that's what
so the piton.
Okay.
The piton.
I called it the old rock stabber.
The old rock stabber.
The old rock stabber, yeah.
The old rock stabber is there. The ropes. Now you have a Jeep. You have all these kind of new mechanics, and then it's layering them on top of each other, keeping the pacing so that you're still right there with Nathan Drake and feeling what he's going through, and there's a pace to it. It feels like when you're done, it's just oh man, let's go back for a second. You forget that, oh my God, that was 8 hours ago. I was back in that level at the beginning of the game. I forgot all about it. Let's do this again. And that's what it's like. That's what we want to maintain with Uncharted 4.
Yeah, and then
that's what
there's
we're on to.
mechanics and sequences that are kind of more of a downbeat, slower moments in Uncharted, and even in Last of Us that we've done that you can't show them off at E3 in a setting like
Right.
this.
Sure, sure.
And are really best left for the game itself.
Yeah.
I'll have you know that I think Bruce used the word adroit in his
did?
answer, yeah, which I appreciate.
He's
that.
ve-
Sorry
he's ve-
about that.
No,
No, I
you're
appreciate
smart.
it. It's great.
Colin's the only one on Kind of Funny who uses big words. Nick, Tim, and I are like, make game go.
So, but I am curious, per my previous question, have you seen anything here that impresses you? Because I feel like this has actually been a really pretty good E3 for some new games and some games we've seen before. Horizon looks pretty cool. Cuphead looks pretty awesome. So have you guys seen anything that impresses you as game designers and
There's
game
that
developers?
game called The Last Guardian. That looks pretty
I heard
cool.
about that
Oh,
one.
that new
That
indie.
new
Yeah,
game,
yeah, yeah.
in the game. I was telling you earlier, Cuphead.
Yep.
Just the look of that game, the animation, I want to get my hands on that. All the Morpheus stuff.
I'm kind of blown away by everything, quite honestly. There's a lot of games, a lot of amazing stuff. Like, it's like right now everybody's got their handle on the technology. We've been in the theater all day yesterday doing demos for people and interviews and whatnot, and then today, same thing. So tomorrow we'll actually be able to like walk around and check out things. So
Awesome.
who knows? I don't know. Just check it all out.
Cool.
All right, so we're winding
Yep.
down.
Are we
And
winding?
Greg,
we're
don't
not
fall off
done
the couch,
yet.
Greg.
I'm not. Oh God, no!
Oh, boy.
Hold me, Kyle. Just hold me, Kyle. Ow, fuck. All right, so I want to give you guys one of your game, Uncharted 4.
What?
It's Kind of Funny improved.
What is this?
Oh.
There's-
cool.
Your game, you get to put that on your booth. Put it right next to your
Okay, so you asked us why Bruce plays. Why is it your face?
Oh no, we each got 3.
Oh.
See, like, so there, like Nick did not give you an award. Nick only plays Axiom Verge, so he didn't give you one.
Oh.
Nick plays Axiom Verge
Yeah.
and Shovel Knight. Neither of those games are at the show this year, so we
Colin's
don't know
got
where to
his,
go.
but yeah, we get to go put them around the place, let you know what we're.
And then we
what
have one
approve
for
of.
we're overall, right? Game.
Oh, we have an overall game of the show. We've never
Which is-
shown this
Oh.
before.
And the
who
irony-
will get it? Who
Oh,
knows?
who's
And the
getting
ironic
that?
thing is that this is the most important and coveted of all awards.
Yeah.
Yet it is the least flashy of all of the awards.
We want this award to speak for itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't need a face screaming
Absolutely.
for it.
There you go,
So
Rick.
we would be doing the viewer a disservice, and congratulations, if we didn't ask you what makes Naughty Dog so special. That's what I titled this little section. How do you guys keep doing this? You keep making amazing games. You don't fuck it up. Everyone's waiting. Everyone's like, maybe this. Nope, this isn't the one they fucked up.
Oh, Campo Santo. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to check that game out. That's a hard one to answer. I mean,
No, I know, but
don't
it's, but
I
is
mean,
it your
what is the
culture?
answer
I mean,
for
just the
that?
way you guys talk about games seems different than most people.
I think so much is the culture that's been cultivated over many, many years where everyone is encouraged to criticize and speak up when they see something they don't like. So like even when we're reviewing this demo, day in and day out we'd be in we have a large theater and we're all sitting there and everybody that's part of like each section of their, and they're all speaking up. They're all saying, wait, that grass could be better. That effect could be better. That dialogue, that exchange, that wasn't very funny. Like why,
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of shitty. The Jeep, like the way it bumps in the wall. So everyone is constantly criticizing the game
It's
and
horrible.
helping making it better. And it just makes you feel like shit, but the game is better off for it.
That's yeah.
You know, it's funny because they really are hard on themselves, and we saw that with The Last of Us. You know how hard you guys were on yourselves, and I love the stories that you told about how the game came together at the last minute, and you really didn't realize how good the game was.
True.
Because you guys are so in it, and that's why I was saying before. Like I don't want to see any more of the game. I have every confidence, considering your track record, that the game's going to be fantastic.
The demo started at the press conference, and Colin put his head down.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't want to watch it. So I think you guys are, personally, I think you maybe a little too hard on yourselves. But I understand how it can be when you're in the trenches with your team and all those things. So, but the demo was greatly received. So congratulations on your guys'
Godspeed
success.
to you
Thanks,
both.
guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for having us,
thanks.
too.
Yeah.
It's been
Uh,
fun.
And
it's
congrats
on-
to you guys. This is pretty awesome.
thank you.
That is
Super
super
Here,
cool.
kind of,
It's a little surreal and bizarre.
kind of
actually.
funny
Yeah.
at E3.
Yeah,
Good
we
job.
have our face
After
to
what,
the booth
5
now.
months?
Yeah, 5 months. We're a company that's 5 months old on the show floor of E3. So in your face, PlayStation. Over there.
What did they do to you?
Uncharted 4, 2016. Thank you guys so much. Stay
Thanks,
more
guys.
here. Kind of funny.
Stay more.
Well, you're the one who uses the big words, not me. I just pound my fist. GameSpot.com/E3.